Oh my goodness, how gorgeous is this set? It's so beautiful. So I am going to show you how to take the complicated out of Christmas. From a glazed ham to a grazing table to a show-stopping centerpiece and all of the hints and tips on how I like to do my Christmas. This is Emmylou's Christmas table. Let the silly season begin. The day before Christmas. It's chaotic, it's crazy, but do you know what? It's actually hugely exciting, and it's all about the prep work. So this is my zuppa anglaise. You're gonna love this. Your family is gonna love this. Your neighbours are gonna love it. Everyone is going to remember it and ask you how you did it. It's literally 3 ingredients. We've got a bowl of vanilla ice cream, which I've just taken out of the freezer and I'm going to let soften. So in the meantime, I'm gonna grab some fruit mince pies, which I've just picked up from Woolworths. They come in a pack of 6. You're going to need 4, and if you can help it, try not to eat the last 2. I'll show you why in a minute. And then you're gonna need some store-bought custard. So we're gonna grab the 4 mince pies and we're just roughly chopping them in as little or as small pieces as you like, but I like to keep them quite chunky because as the ice cream sets, the shortbread actually softens and the fruit mince filling ripples on through. So you grab your bowl of ice cream, you pop in all of your fruit mince pies, pick up all those lovely crumbs. That's what makes it beautiful and gives it a really, like kind of a grainy texture. And then you're just gonna get a really big spoon. You're gonna grab some custard, drizzle it through. Now this is the important part. Don't stir it madly. You don't want to turn this into an ice cream soup. What you want is to fold it in slowly so you're still keeping the shape of the ice cream, but you're just pushing that fruit mince pies all through it, kind of giving it that ripple effect. My kids are going to love this. And do you know what is so special? Is that they'll remember this. It'll become part of their summer Christmas memory. So this is how you want it, not completely stirred through. You can still see bits of custard, you've got the fruit mince pies, and you've also got that gorgeous vanilla ice cream running through there as well. Now grab a loaf tin, or maybe you want to pop it back into the container. It's up to you really, but you just slowly scoop it through. Do you know one of the things that I absolutely love about this particular dessert? That it's a really affordable one to do. Super easy, and everybody will love it. So once you've got it in your loaf tin, you're gonna grab those 2 spare ones that I told you about and give them a quick rough chop. And you know when you go to the ice cream shop and they always display their ice cream so beautifully, like you go in as a kid and you're hoping that they're gonna give you those little bits and pieces off the top and you always want the extra. Well, this is the extra. So just crumble the fruit mince pies over the top, grab your custard, drizzle a little bit more through. Now this is the very, very technical part. You grab your spatula and you just give it a little bit of a push, a little party on top. Into the freezer for about an hour or wait till Christmas Day. How easy is that? I'm so ridiculous, I can't even wait. I need to show you what this looks like after a couple of hours. So if you can, just give it 1 or 2 minutes and it's just gonna soften for you. And that means you're not gonna need your mama muscles too much to get through it. So I've heated up my ice cream scoop. Oh, look at that. First go, here we go. And I don't know about you, but I don't mind the old double scoop. So I'm gonna go in for a second one. And you can see the beautiful chunks, the gorgeous yellow thick custard, fruit mince pie. Come on, so beautiful. Oh, this is such a gorgeous childhood memory right here. And that is my zuppa anglaise. It's just so good. A modern spin on a classic dish, my dirty potato salad. Christmas glazed ham. Now, you either have it every year and it's part of your Christmas tradition, or maybe you've just never tried it. Either way, I'm going to take you through the most beautiful blood orange glaze recipe. So this year, when you're buying your Christmas ham, I want you to look out for two things. These two labels here, Australian pork and Australian made. Now, with the Australian made label, you want to make sure that that bar is almost full. We're talking over 90%. That way you know that your Christmas ham is made from Australian pork and supporting Australian farmers. So let's go get my Christmas ham made from Australian pork. Now you definitely want to be doing a few squats to lift this guy. Oh my goodness. Now I don't know about you, but when I look at a massive Christmas ham like this, I feel slightly intimidated. I'm going to show you how to take the rind off really easily. So firstly, you've got your leg here. You're going to grab a little knife. I find little knives are easier to work with. And all you're going to do is cut in around that leg. And then just make sure you turn it right around and keep cutting all the way underneath it. So what you want to do is actually get your fingers underneath, separating the rind from the fat. So the fat is going to stay with the ham and you're going to pull the rind away. Now it's one of those things, you want to be gentle, but you want to be gentle with a bit of confidence. And slowly, slowly, your rind is going to pull away. And you just keep moving your fingers over your gorgeous Christmas ham, all the while pushing the fat onto the ham. Now, this is such a good thing to do before Christmas Day, because once your ham is cooked, your glaze is done, you know that on Christmas Day, you've got a show-stopping centerpiece. All right, now we're on to the scoring. So traditionally you do the diamond back and you stick it in with cloves, but I kind of like a little bit more of a contemporary score. So firstly, I like to use a short knife. That way it's a lot easier for me to control. And all I'm gonna do is actually just score about 1 centimetre apart, going around this beautiful curvy ham. And then for these tricky little side bits, be firm with your ham, okay? So pop your hand on your leg and then turn it that way. Then you've got a little bit more control. And then here we go. You just turn it with the cutting. So the beauty of doing something like this is you're going to get that gorgeous glaze all the way through it. And as that fat actually cooks, the fat kind of shrinks a little bit, and that's what gives you those beautiful little patterns. And that means it doesn't have to be perfect. So now that my ham is all nicely scored, I'm just going to pop it on a bit of a rack in a baking tray. I'm going to get rid of this one. Give my hands a little wash. And now it's time for the glaze. So what you're going to need for this is a saucepan, a whisk, and a pastry brush, and a whole heap of other ingredients. So you've got half a cup of brown sugar, in we go, half a cup of honey, 1.5 cups of blood orange marmalade. Now all of these things you can actually find at Woolworths, so it's really easy to grab everything just when you're at the shops and have it ready to go for Christmas Eve. And half a cup of blood orange juice. In we go. So at this point, I actually like to change over to a whisk because it helps break it up a little. But before I forget, a nice, good pinch of salt in there. That really brings out all of the sweetness of your marmalade, your honey, your sugar. It's pretty decadent. And then just break it up a little. And then we're going to take it over to the stove. So you want to get your stove onto just a low heat. Now just make sure you don't leave it alone. No one wants a sticky, burnt, glazed saucepan, especially on Christmas Eve. So my sugar is dissolved, it's nice and thick, and it's ready to glaze. Let me get rid of this whisk. This is where the pastry brush comes in handy. And I'm actually gonna do a little bit of a drizzle, and then I'm gonna move that gorgeous glaze with my pastry brush. I'm not just kind of brushing on a thin layer. I want it to be nice and thick and decadent. And it's gonna give that really beautiful coating, especially as the fat starts to shrivel away once it starts cooking in the oven. So you wanna have your oven preheated at 170, and you're gonna put this big bad boy in for around 60 to 90 minutes until it's golden brown. But just remember one thing, you're gonna be basting it every 15 minutes. So if that means you need to set a timer on your phone or in your kitchen, make sure you do that, because you really want it to be beautiful and shiny. I mean, it's Christmas. Oh, time for a rest. All right, let's check him out. Oh my goodness. He's perfect. And now all we have to do is plate it up. Christmas in Australia is unlike Christmas anywhere else in the world. Early morning swims, Santa in boardies, backyard cricket and seafood on the barbie. It's what makes us special, and it's the memories we make at Christmas that stay with us throughout the year.
Oh, I see this love is taking over, breaking through my chest and overflowing. With every single beat, it pulls me closer, closer to you.
So when all of the Christmas cooking, decorating, present opening is done, there's nothing better than taking my family down the beach with a picnic bag full of leftovers, some fresh ham sandwiches, and just spending time together by the water. I mean, this is Australia after all. Sage is a size 7.5 men's. Oh my goodness. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I'm all about behind the scenes. And today, well, today you're getting a little bit of both. So we're filming Christmas Day. This is actually your Christmas Day, but it's also my hectic day of present buying. And I've got Aaron at DFO currently getting all of the gifts for the kids. And so we're texting back and forth. I'm trying to get through this next recipe, and there's just strawberries and mess everywhere. So we're gonna go for it, all right? Now, the eaten mess. Look at this beautiful table. Can we just check out these gorgeous Victorian strawberries? Now, Victorian strawberry season is actually right now. It's from November till May, and they are so beautiful and sweet. But what I'm going to show you is how I like to cut them and prepare them and plate them for your Christmas Day. So for me, I like to grab the tails off, or you can cut them off. It's really up to you, but I just rip them off, throw them down. And then with the little baby ones, I'm actually going to leave them whole. With the larger ones, I'm actually just going to cut them down the centre and then give them a little quarter. And then with your medium ones, just straight in half. Now this will take a little while, and I think that's why you can message and text and yell at kids if you need to, and just take your time getting it done. Now once you've cut all of your strawberries, it's really, really simple. You're gonna sprinkle over some sugar. You're gonna squeeze a couple of tablespoons of lemon juice, or a half one, and then a nice good heaped teaspoon of vanilla bean extract. And then using your hands, you're just gonna mix that through really gently. You don't wanna bruise your strawberries, but you do wanna get the lemon juice, the sugar, and the vanilla bean all mixed through. So I'm gonna leave those strawberries to sit for about 20-30 minutes until they're nice and juicy and at room temperature. And we're gonna get on with the cream. So it's pretty easy. You just go in with some thickened cream. Now this is some creme fraiche. Just gives it a little something, something. Some icing sugar. And about a teaspoon of vanilla bean paste. That'll do. I'm a little bit heavy-handed with that. Oops. And then you wanna beat this. Now, you wanna make sure that you do watch it, because you don't want butter, you don't want it hard, you want pillowy, soft, beautiful cream. Now start your stand mixer off slow, because you don't want that icing sugar going all over your face. Then go fast, okay? So while that's going, I am just gonna clean my bench off with a few things, because we're gonna get ready to plate this all up. Actually, I'm gonna check in on Aaron and just make sure that he is on track with all the gift buying. Poor Poor guy, I have left him with a massive task. That is perfect. All right, so I don't know about you, but every Christmas I either lose a trifle bowl or I gain a trifle bowl. It's really weird. And I've got all of these odd ones. And when I was thinking about how I wanted to plate up this eaten mess, I thought, why not use them all? I feel the strawberries are definitely the hero of an eaten mess. So this is my strawberries bowl. Now you do want to be kind of gentle. You don't want to bruise the strawberries. That 30 minutes is all these strawberries needed. It's all just loosened up and become beautiful and saucy. And it's given the strawberries the most beautiful gloss as well. And you don't want to waste that juice. Get all of that juice in there. Right, strawberries are done. Now, I found the most gorgeous lemon myrtle meringues at Woolworths. I mean, how stunning is that? Now, you do traditionally crush your meringues up, but I thought how beautiful if we just stacked these guys and it became a bit of an eaten mess buffet, if you will. And that way, people can just come in, grab a lemon myrtle meringue, crush it over the top. They can choose if they want more strawberries, less strawberries, more cream, more meringue. It's like a DIY eaten mess. So with the cream, it's going in this little guy right here. You just want to fold this out really beautifully. Oh, how beautiful. And try and give it a little bit of height when you're pouring it in, because that's what's going to give it that nice ribbon effect. And you can see it because the trifle bowl's clear. Get every last bit. You can never have too much cream. So we've got the beautiful cream, our hero strawberries, and the gorgeous lemon myrtle meringues. There you go. There is my Christmas Day eaten mess.
The classic oyster. Simple, sexy, and delicious.
So I've got my apron on. That means only one thing. I mean business. We are up to pork crackle. There are a few things that I like to do to get the perfect pork crackle, and I'm going to tell you what they are. So I always love to buy my pork crackle from my local butchers, and I always ask him to score it for me. That is one job out of the way. The other thing I do is leave it overnight in the fridge uncovered. Gets all that moisture out to get nice and crispy. So you want some really gorgeous quality salt. I mean, apart from the pork, that's actually the main ingredients. So that brings me to Olsen Salts. Now, I stumbled across this family-owned business, probably about 6 months ago on Instagram, and I just fell in love with it. The salt is so beautiful, and I love that it comes in all these different little jars and flavors, and they make the most perfect gift. So you've got your beautifully dried pork. You're going to drizzle it with a bit of olive oil, not too much. Now I go in with all of the salt. Before I even smear that olive oil, I'm going in with all the salt first. You really do want to be heavy-handed with the salt. Now just a couple of fennel seeds, you don't need a lot. And then you're going to really rub all that salt and olive oil and the fennel seeds into those score lines. You grab your baking tray. Now I always like to have this little cake cooling rack in there, if you can find one. And I also put some baking paper underneath. And then just transfer your pork over onto your tray into a really hot oven, 220, 240, and you're just gonna let that crisp right up. So let me show you what I'm gonna do with the pork crackle once it's cooked. I actually use it as croutons in a salad. It's pretty decadent. So get yourself a salad bowl. So you wanna go in with some Dijon mustard, some white wine vinegar, drop in your cast sugar, start to emulsify it while drizzling in your olive oil, and whisk through that salad dressing all together and just dissolve all of that sugar. So once your dressing is all emulsified and mixed in, you're gonna grab some shredded apple and fennel. Now I like to use a mixture. I've got some beautiful green apple, which has a bit of a tart flavour to it. Then you've got the sweet red apple, you've got the gorgeous flavour of a fennel, and just a small amount of red onion. In with the onion first, and break that up as you're putting it into the bowl. Then your fennel, topple in your apple. Just before you're about to serve, that's when you toss it through and serve it to your guests. So my pork crackling has been resting for a while because you want it cool to touch. You don't want it hot going into a salad. You're going to pick it up. Now, you can actually just use your hands or you can use a knife. We're going to use the hands. This is when you give it a toss through and get all of that beautiful dressing through the apple and fennel. Oh my goodness, it smells so beautiful. You know what I love about this salad? It's so fresh. And then you've got the salty pork crackle croutons running through it. And then all you have to do is break this in. Trust me, this salad is a winner. And don't worry about the bigger pieces, drop them in. They're my favourite. And give it one more gentle toss through. Now you can always serve a little bit of extra crackling on the side because trust me, no one ever says no. Oh, how beautiful does that look? And that is my perfect pork crackle with an apple and fennel slaw. So I've just finished filming the Eaten Mess and I sent Emmylou to DFO and he's coming back and hey,
honey.
Hey babe, how are ya?
Good.
I was just saying how I sent you shopping for all the kids' gifts. How'd you go?
I got a lot of stuff. I don't know if I got everything, but I got a heap of bargains.
I knew you'd get the bargains. I
bargain.
gave you the mammoth list. I'm so sorry. That's awesome. Bring them in here, babe. My feet are really sore. Can you bring them in here?
Sure.
I'm about to start making the vegan roast. So do you want to stay? Because you could actually gift wrap to the side while I'm filming the vegan roast. And you can help me if you want to, but you don't have to if you don't want to be doing it.
Sure. Whatever, it's all good.
Okay, well, go. There's lunch out there as well. Do you want to go grab lunch?
Yep.
I'll be about 15. I was going to go through all the gifts.
Okay.
So I've actually worked with DFO for years, so I know all the stores like the back of my hand. And so I gave Emmylou a massive list of all the brands to go and visit. Now, for those of you who don't know, DFO have so many different brands. Oroton, Peter Alexander, Adidas, all your sport brands, all your high-end fashion brands. It's amazing, but they're all at discounted bargain prices. It's pretty cool. But what I wanted to see was I put some Adidas sneakers aside for Seiji, my 9-year-old son, and he's now in a size, I think 7.5 men's shoe, which is killing me. Oh, look at that. They're like, I don't know, nearly 90 bucks, gone down to 70 bucks. It's awesome. And you know, kids, they just go through shoes like anything. The Oroton bag. This is a present for my sister. How nice is that? Like, that is so gorgeous. She's going to love that. And it's beautiful, and it's Oroton. Oh, my God. But it was just like, I saw it. Oh, okay, sorry. That's my final call. I better go into hair and makeup. But, yeah, I'll take you through that another time. I'm off to do a vegan roast. So for those of you who don't know, my partner Aaron, or known as Emmylou, is vegan. And so every Christmas, we like to do something that's really special and substantial for him. Enter in my vegan butternut roast. So firstly, you're using something a little crazy, green bananas. And you're gonna boil them for about 30 minutes with the skin on. So they're gonna end up like this. So they have a split down them. They're still firm to touch, but they have gotten a lot more tender. So you don't want to make this stuffing mix too mushy. You actually want it to have some texture. And dare I say it, you want it to be meaty in a way. You're going to go in with some jalapenos, some chopped coriander. Make sure you wash your coriander. That one I always get stung by that. And then you want some roughly chopped walnuts. So in this mix, you've got coriander, cumin, and onion powder. And that is just going to give it so much flavour. Some breadcrumbs and some all-purpose flour will help bind it together. The juice of about half a lemon. And then you're going to mix. So think of this as stuffing. Some people don't like it too dry, and I certainly don't. So have some water just to loosen up that mixture a little bit. So you've got a whole butternut pumpkin. You're going to get it split. And then you're going to de-seed it, okay? But you also want to scoop out this other little part. Trust me, your vegan friends will love that you went to all of this effort. So get your oven tray now and put your pumpkin in it. We've got olive oil, we've got maple syrup. So just a little drizzle of each. And make sure you save a little bit of maple syrup and olive oil because you're going to do the same on the outside of the pumpkin. Grab a pinch of salt, bit of pepper, And now, just get your hand and start to smear the inside of your pumpkin with this beautiful maple syrup. Now, babe.
Yeah.
Babe, can you come in? Sorry, I've got sticky hands. I'm actually doing your vegan butternut roast. Yeah, it's really good.
Okay.
But I need your help.
Where do we go?
So, can you grab the mix?
Yeah.
And you're going to actually spoon it into the two halves of the pumpkin.
Okay.
Aaron is like the neatest person at home, so he doesn't like a mess and stickiness.
It's gonna be precise.
Thanks, babe.
How's that?
Just use all the mixture.
Yeah, sure.
Pop it in there.
Okay, how's that?
Yeah, that's perfect. Now, don't go away.
Okay.
I need your help. I am going to pop these two together like that, and you're going to grab that twine there. And then, can I get you to wrap it around 3 or 4 times?
Yeah.
Thanks, babe. It's a team effort. It's always a team effort, isn't it?
Yeah, how's that?
There you go. And then, olive oil, maple syrup. Don't get it on my clothes. You're going to drizzle it. Yeah.
Is that
Yep, and
good
then,
going?
yep, that's enough. Actually, you need to drizzle this one as well. I made this little guy before. Yeah, bit of olive oil, perfect. And then a bit of maple syrup. Okay, a little bit of salt for me.
Okay.
Oh, no, come on, mate.
Oh, sorry.
A punch, not a pinch.
There you go.
All right, there you go. What do you reckon?
Nice.
Can you pop it in the oven for
sure.
me?
Hang on a sec. Okay.
Preheated oven, 180 degrees for about an hour until it's beautiful and golden and tender to touch. Thanks, babe. You're all done.
Sure.
Perfect. And that is my vegan butternut roast. I do like to get a little fancy every now and then. So today I'm going to be cooking my duck bao buns. Now I was talking to the team at Love a Duck, and you know what's happened this year is that more and more people have been cooking at home, and what they've discovered is that duck is hugely impressive, but it's not only something that's just saved for when you go out in restaurants, it's something that you can actually eat and cook for yourself at home. And the duck bao buns, you're gonna love that because it is something that you can serve to your guests in your home and it will be hugely impressive. So with the marinade, there's a few ingredients, but they're all things that you'll find in your supermarket or actually in your pantry. So you just need some soy sauce, some Chinese cooking wine, some sesame oil, crushed garlic, minced ginger, Chinese 5-spice, and a nice drizzle of honey. So I use a whisk just to break up that honey, and then all you're gonna do is drop in your duck breast. Let that marinate for about 2 hours if you can, but I've actually got some that I prepared earlier. I've always wanted to say that. So when it comes to cooking duck, I have a little foolproof way that I do it. So you want to start with a cold fry pan. Cold fry pan, okay? Then you want to place your duck skin side down. And 2. And now you're going to turn on your stove to around a medium-high heat and cook it on its skin side for about 5 minutes. Then you're going to flip it over and cook it for 2. And then you're going to put it in the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes. So this slaw is really simple to do. I mean, all I've done is shredded up some red cabbage, some green cabbage, and some julienne carrots. Now, I don't have a measurement for your Kewpie mayonnaise. Literally, swirl it around, however you like. Told you, I'm simple, but I'm fancy. Oh, let me wash my hands. So, my duck is almost ready. Let me have a little look. Oh, yeah. Oh, I wish you could smell this. It's so beautiful. So you do want to let that rest. Grab yourself a plate, get it out of that hot fry pan and let it rest. I mean, 5 minutes. I like to go 10, 15 because you want those juices to go back into your duck breast. You want it to be blushing pink and really full of moisture. And the way that you do that is by resting it. Bao buns have been steaming away and you're just going to finely slice some beautiful pieces of duck. And it's really up to you on how thin or thick you want to do it. Don't be worried if you don't like it particularly red. I like my duck medium to well done. I still like it to look quite pink though. So now it's assembly time. You want to grab your bao buns and you want them to be nice and oh, I wish you could feel it. It's so soft and so gorgeous. Now it really depends on how you want to do it. I like to go in with the coleslaw first. Now, if I was doing this for guests, I would have a set of tongs, don't worry, but it's just me and you. So I'm just going to use my hands and then a little bit of duck, and because it is just me, I'm going to pick the best piece. That one. Now you can top this with fresh chili, some Asian herbs. I'm going to go in with some coriander and mint. And you can bet your bottom dollar I'm going in for a bit of a bite. This is really good. Can I have another bite? Yeah. So when I first started my TV career, I used to actually make grazing tables. It was something that I did just to earn a little bit of money on the side, and I also loved showing the content on how to do it. So over the years, grazing tables has become kind of my thing. There's a few ways that you can start doing something as big as this, but the main thing I want to tell you is please don't feel intimidated. It doesn't matter what budget you have, it doesn't matter how many guests that you have, it doesn't even matter about the space that you have. Anyone can do a grazing table. So the first thing I want to talk about is Post-it notes. Post-it notes is something that I did when I first started grazing tables. You write the ingredient on it, you pop it in the container that you think it's going to go in, and that will remind you. So all you have to do is take off the Post-it note and pop in whatever it says. It's a really handy trick to have. Something that I think is really important in making your grazing table really pop is levels. What I mean by that is different sizes of platters, different heights as well. And you can see that as you put your ingredients on it, like this gorgeous Christmas ham, you can see that that also lifts it up. Half of this stuff is from op shops, garage sales, and just little bits and pieces I've picked up along the way, and they actually tell such a fabulous story. Now, the other tip that I have for you, fresh greenery. It's actually really affordable to do. So something like putting some fresh herbs, looking at these cascading grapes, and even this vine is just my passion fruit vine from home. But what you find, as soon as you put something fresh and green down, your guests just will gravitate towards it. I mean, who doesn't love beautiful, fresh food? So now let me show you something that is really simple to do, and that's dressing a brie. So I just picked up these 2 bries from Woolworths, and all you need to do is cut into them first, because that way it kind of invites your guests to dig in as well. And then pick up your wedges, pop them on top. Now, what I like to do is create height. So I'm going to get this one. I'm going to stack it on top. Straight away, we've gotten a little bit of height. I'm going to put this little wedge down here. That looks super inviting. So you want to grab some beautiful fresh honeycomb. I mean, gorgeous, isn't it? And then grab a fig, cut it in quarters, pop it around wherever it can go. And then grab some edible flowers, some pistachios for front, and that is how you dress a brie. Now, onto the strawberries. This is my final piece to the puzzle, and all you need to do is topple them out at the front of your grazing table, just like this. Oh my goodness, they smell so beautiful. And I mean, that on its own looks gorgeous, but wedge in just some squares of chocolate. And do you know what else I love about this? Is that because it's right on the flat surface of the table, little kids always come up, my kids especially, and they'll grab the strawberries and the chocolate. They don't always care for hot suppressor and things like that. And then just dapple some pretzels around, and I don't know what it is. It's like their own little smiley face, and they just make everything look so fun and gorgeous. And that is an Emmylou Loves grazing table.
These sweet chili prawns are such a great way to enjoy your Christmas Day seafood.
The days in between Boxing Day and New Year's Eve, I don't know, they're kind of like a bit of a blur. They have a tradition of their own. You're sort of over the leftovers of all the Christmas food. You kind of want to eat trifle for breakfast. It's all over the place. I find those days are some of the best because you pull out some really easy meals, you do some really fun things with the kids and the family, whether it's beach days, movie nights, whatever. So for those types of days, I like to do something like my loaded nachos. This time I'm actually going to be using the Heinz chili beans mild. And you'll find that most of the veggies that are in this recipe, you'll just have them in your veggie box in the fridge. You want to pour some oil in your pan and you heat around medium to high. So once your oil's heated up, pop in some diced onion and let that get nice and translucent. So into that, I'm going to add just some minced garlic, some diced red capsicum, a cup of frozen corn, and then a can of tinned tomatoes. Just stir that through. And now you can add in your beans. Your beans is what has all of the flavour for you. And all you have to really do is just give it a little simmer. So that's been simmering for about 5 minutes. Got my tray. This is my idea of a good loaded nachos. I feel sometimes you go to a restaurant and they just kind of load all of the beans and stuff on top, and then all of those beautiful corn chips underneath get no love. So for me, I do layers, and everything good starts with cheese. Then you want to grab some of your bean mix, about half, some fresh coriander over the top, but it's optional, some chopped spring onion, more cheese, and now more corn chips. You can have them nice and flat, or you can do them really high. Just depends how theatrical you are. We all know that I like them nice and high. I love so much drama. Get every last little bit out. Coriander, spring onion. You want to go heavy-handed with the cheese. That is an epic loaded nachos. Now there's no rule with how long that stays in for. It's as long as it's melted, gooey. Because the beans were hot in the fry pan, it's gonna be done in like 5 minutes. Lashings of sour cream. You might like to drizzle it all over. For me, I like to just have one spot where we all know where to go. Some guacamole, and that is my loaded nachos. I have a massive smile on my face because I'm about to do something for you, which is a total McCarthy Christmas tradition. It's my mum's Christmas ham fried rice, and we have it every year since I can remember. It's obviously using leftover Christmas ham, which is amazing because we have so much of it. So you want a wok that's nice and hot. You want to put in some coconut oil, followed by a couple of drops of sesame oil. Then you want to go in with some diced onion, some diced carrot. Just give that a minute to soften before you add the other veggies. So now that the onion has gotten a little translucent and your carrot's a little soft, you can add in some Christmas ham, as little or as much as you like. I like it in pretty chunky cubes. It's up to you. You can finely dice it if you want. Because your wok is nice and hot, the ham gets a little kind of glazed on the outside and a little bit charcoaly, if you will. And I like that. So as that ham starts to cook, a little bit of the oil and the fat from the ham comes out too, which makes it super tasty. Now in with the peas and corn. Smells so good. My youngest daughter loves fried rice. Add your salt and pepper. And then this is the little McCarthy trick. You make a little well in the centre and you're going to crack a couple of eggs. And you want to work fast. Get your wooden spoon and give it a little scramble. Just still keeping it in the well. Now go in with your rice. And the trick with the rice is to make sure it's cooked either the day before, or if you've cooked it that day of, make sure that you've cooled it right down. Even if you have to pop it in the fridge, it makes for such a crispy, lovely fried rice. Now you want to get 2 wooden spoons in there and just toss it through. A little bit of soy, another stir, and let that hot wok do its magic. And just give it a couple of minutes to cook and get really searing hot again. It smells so beautiful. Okay, one final stir. You can see the little brown bits of the ham, the egg, even some little charred bits of rice. Just makes it so tasty. And there you go. That is my Christmas ham fried rice.
This radicchio salad will make the perfect addition to any Christmas barbecue.
So when it comes to Christmas decorating, it is just what you make it. You can go as extravagant or as simple as you like. I like to keep it pretty simple. You know, my kids, they always bring home heaps of decorations from school and stuff like that. So we don't have the perfect matching Christmas tree, but I absolutely love fairy lights. That's actually one of the highlights of Christmas is all of the lights. I mean, come on. So I've just picked up some lights from the Jolly Joy range at Spotlight. Now they have heaps. They've got the ones that you plug in, they've got the ones with the batteries, they've even got the solar ones, you know? But what you can do is you can just get them like this, wrap them around and pop them in mason jars, you know? And then that creates such a cute feature for either your table or you can pop them around your garden. Just get it in like that and put the lid on. And then you can just turn them on at night and turn them off when you're about to go to bed. So this one's actually one of my favorites because it's got the little pegs. It's fairy lights, but it's got the little pegs and you can just get some photos printed out. I've just taken these ones from my fridge and peg them up. Or you can actually use them, you know, to peg your Christmas cards that you get. I love getting Christmas cards. So I might just get the kids to help me hang up these last few lights. Hey guys, Bob, Camelia, can you help me? What were you munching on? Christmas tree?
I love seeing how each and every one of you chooses to spend your festive season. Whether it's an intimate gathering or a big backyard blowout, being able to swap and share stories with my community gives me all the fuel I need to kickstart my new year.
All right guys, dinner is ready.
What a year 2021 is shaping up to be. But before it begins, let's remember to reflect on this year, the highs and yes, even the lows. Let's remember the sense of community, the way we came together in the face of adversity and taught our kids kindness, resilience, and above all, the ability to find humour in even the most difficult situations.
You know, I've had the best time sharing with you how I like to do Christmas. Camelia, come in here. We're about to have a family photo.
I don't want a photo.
That's okay. Now, this is my home. It's not fancy. It's actually just a rental. But you know what? It is filled with love. So no matter what you do this Christmas, no matter what you cook, make sure you're spending it with those you love. And from my family to yours, can we get a Merry Christmas? Merry Christmas! She'll give you nothing. Later.